Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Roger's Reflections for Tuesday, November 10th in the year 2020. I pray you are doing well today. I'm going to be sharing a couple verses from 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 11 and 12. 1 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11 and 12. Hear now the word of the Lord. As you know, this is Paul speaking, as you know, we dealt with each one of you like a father with his children, urging and encouraging you and pleading that you lead a life worthy of God, who calls you into his own kingdom and glory. I'll read that again. As you know, we dealt with each one of you like a father deals with his children, urging and encouraging you and pleading that you lead a life worthy of God, who has called you into his own kingdom and glory. I like the image here of how Paul and his other evangelists, pastors, ministers, whatever you want to call it, leaders of the church, how they approach discipleship, how they approach working with the believers in the church at Thessalonica. He says, like a father with children, and I like the verbs here are always good. Look for the verbs and see what they're talking about. And he says, urging, encouraging, pleading. Urging. The father leads and shares the thoughts. Here's where we need to go. Kind of goes out in front, and so as a church, yes, individuals can learn and study on their own, but part of the role of the church is to lead and guide, to take that first step, to walk down the right path, to urge the members to follow that path, to encourage them, because there's going to be days when it doesn't work. There are going to be days when people struggle, and so you want, as a father encourages his children. So the church wants to encourage its disciples, its believers, the followers, the Christians, whatever you want to call it. And then pleads, say, hey, please, again, plead. When you plead, it's kind of interesting. Urging, encouraging, you've got father and child. When you plead, it almost as if, you bring that up and this is still the same level. The child is still the same level. But the father comes down and looks up and says, I plead with you. Kind of like Christ came down from his position in heaven, came down, became human like us, so he could plead with us. At the same level or even below, he could plead with us. Please, I've been there. I know what's, what is ahead. Please follow what where I'm going. Adhere to what I'm teaching. Lead a life worthy of God, who calls you into his kingdom and glory. We want to live a life worthy of God. So think about that. Think about your actions. Think about your conversations. Think about any decisions that you make. Is it worthy of God? Or is what you're doing, is it worthy? Does it bring God glory? Does it lift him up? Because in the midst of all that, in the midst of being urged, encouraged, and pleaded, and we're living that life worthy of God, in the midst of all that, God is going to lift us up. God will also encourage us. God will also urge us. And God pleads through his Son, Jesus the Christ, for us to follow, to believe, and to follow, and to live a life worthy. And we will see as we do that the blessings are just so incredible and so many that we will not be able to count them. And as we serve God, we realize that in that service, we are blessed. Hopefully, my friends, this has helped you today. Take care, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.